Hello everyone and welcome back for another video, and today we're doing some more of Ranking 3. So welcome back for another episode of Ranking 3. Today we have another 3 albums. Today there's Iron Maiden, Peace of Mind, Slipknot, just their self-titled album, and So Far So Good So What by Megadeth. So, I have actually put them in ranking order. I have literally just thought of that, but alright, I put them in order now. So these albums, obviously, as normal, I'm a huge fan of all these albums. I'm a huge fan of all these bands, and so nothing against all these albums. These are not albums that I hate in this series. So we're gonna start off. I think so. Number 3, I'd say I put Peace of Mind, Iron Maiden. I think this one. So this obviously has some of the most classic songs, but I can't really compare them to Slipknot and Megadeth, so that is quite hard. But Where Eagles Dare is one of the best opening tracks I've ever heard, and The Trooper is probably top 3 Iron Maiden songs for me. And I probably might do other videos in this series where I have more Iron Maiden albums, because I have loads of Iron Maiden albums, not all of them, but a lot of them, at least half. So this album, I'll admit, the first half of the album is brilliant, because there's Where Eagles Dare, Revelations, Flight of Icarus, amazing songs, and it does kind of start to drop towards the end, where it's a bit, because Tame a Land is quite long, but it has a lot of slow downs that aren't really needed, and a few other songs. But so Still Life and Onwards, not the best part, but The Trooper and Below on this album. Die With Your Boots On is another brilliant one. So I just enjoy almost all the album for this one. This album is just very... Alright, I did not mean to do that, but this album is pretty much perfect. It doesn't get me saying it is perfect exactly though. So yeah. And number 2, which I thought, which was a tough decision. Why are my CDs so dusty? I don't know. I have a lot of I have a lot of editions for CDs, so I don't really use the original CDs that much. But anyway, number 2 is the self-titled debut album by Slipknot. So this one goes to number 2 because, a bit like Peace of Mind, it has some little bit of not to be exact. Because kind of like Peace of Mind, it's not really like the second half of the album. It's not really that It's not really that there's not that much to it that makes it a proper. That's probably one of the reasons why there's not a great deal of this album that gets played live, because the first 6 songs, well, minus the 7, 4, 2, 6, 1, 7, etc. opening, is the minus that the 1, 2, 3, 4, first 5 songs on the album minus the intro track. They're perfect songs, and I enjoyed Tattered and Torn, maybe a bit of Liberate, but And then there's Scissors, which has I can never remember the name of it at the end. It's kind of like a hidden track, and it and going through the highlights on this album though, Sick is one of Slipknot's biggest ever songs, and Eyeless is really heavy, and that's another song a bit like Sick. And then Wait and Bleed, which is kind of a lot more different to Slipknot. It has a different sort of sound to it, especially the chorus, but it's still a really good song. And so is Surfacing, and Spit It Out is amazing. So loads of this album. I'm not saying the second half is not very good, but it could have been improved. Prosthetics and No Life I enjoy, and maybe the end of the album, but maybe the album could have been shortened down to like 9 or 10 tracks, and I probably would have been a lot happier with it. But I don't know, still amazing album, and it is. If you have seen my Slipknot albums ranked, then it is my second favourite album by Slipknot. So obviously, I do enjoy it. Now, number one, I did mention this at the beginning, and here it is: Megadeth. So Far, So Good, So What. The reason this was at number one was because I couldn't think of everything, because I think just the whole album is pretty much just all positive for me to talk about. There isn't much for me to say on the negative side. Anarchy in the UK though, I have to bring that one up because it's a fan-hated Megadeth song. I have to bring it up. It's actually, in my opinion, it's an okay song. I'd listen to it, and first two songs on the album, definitely Into the Lungs of Hell and Set the World Afire. There's Anarchy in the UK. Oh, I've already mentioned that one. Mary Jane and 502 are alright. And In My Darkest Hours, the second heavy metal song I ever heard, and still one of my favourite songs of all time. And Hook in Mouth is an amazing way to end the album. So I have already mentioned, because taking a look at the previous two albums, Iron Maiden, Peace of Mind, had a couple of not the best tracks on the end, and so does Slipknot. But with this album, I just hardly have anything to say negative-wise about this album. So there's not so much else to say really. This album is amazing, and I'm not including the bonus tracks previously unreleased because I don't know if it was like released on vinyl or anything, but this CD does come with the bonus tracks. I'm not going to bring them up. Into the Lungs of Hell, though, I have to mention, being an instrumental, it is one of the heaviest ever Megadeth songs to ever have been released, and it contains some of the best guitar on there I've ever heard from Megadeth. So, brilliant album. So that's my list. You enjoyed it, and I hope you're enjoying it. You're enjoying this new series. I definitely am, and probably will need to get a few more albums out. I might need to get a few more albums on CD, or I could go through my record collection and take some out. So I do have a lot to say about some of these albums, but anyway, I think the whole thing was, I think all the albums were pretty good. As I mentioned, I enjoy all the albums that have been put on this ranking 3 series, and And that is my list. So we'll see you again very soon. If you have any questions for my upcoming Q&A, then please do put them in the comments down below. Hopefully they are there. So we will see you again very soon.